Welcome to JC's Stocks and Markets podcast for July 11th, 2025, 7/11. I'm JC. I've been investing in the stock market for 40 plus years. Every other week I publish a new idea on YouTube regarding stocks or ETFs that I research, and I usually do this on every other Saturday. Just sharing this stuff because I always like researching new investment ideas. My intentions with the podcast are to share my thoughts and opinions on some stock and ETF picks with an emphasis on dividend-paying securities. I just want to share investment ideas so you and I can maybe make a buck. I'm not doing this for money from anyone. The opinions here shared are my own. They're just that, opinions. I invest in many of the stocks and ETFs that are featured in these podcasts, not the one today, but boy, I would like to grab some if I could. Disclaimer, do your own due diligence before investing in anything. With that, let's go make some money. The stock I'd like to share with you today is a company called Capital Southwest Corporation. CSWC is the ticker. Basically, it's a middle market lending firm, and they acquire and provide lending for middle market companies across the capital structure. And what they kind of mean by that is they're not discriminatory as to what industries they're in. They're just looking for good opportunities for either acquisitions or lending so that they can make a buck doing it. It was formed in 1961, as you can see here, elected to be a business development corporation in 1988. It's internally managed, has 30 employees in Dallas, and that's where they're based. Balance sheet is $1.9 billion in terms of assets. And the company's worth, the market cap is about $1.2 billion. And they have a pretty high investment grade rating there. This next slide is pretty interesting. In fact, I'm pretty excited about this one. This is the overall chart for CSWC, Capital Southwest Corporation. Look at that. It started out in the 80s and they've had several splits, but essentially gone from single digits to $23 plus, paying out about 11.5% in dividends a year. Man, I like the chart. I like the yield. PE ratio is 15. Earnings per share is actually higher than that. It's closer to the dividend, forward dividend for the year. So they almost cover the dividend, but boy, they have cash flow to cover it. But man, I like this chart, and I like the fact that it pays 11.5%. Here's Capital Southwest lower middle market credit strategy. Essentially, they're looking for solutions to fund growth and other corporate events. They're diverse. They don't care about the industries. They're mostly in North America for sure, and they really don't care about what industry it is as long as it makes sense in terms of financial investment. Investments generally range from $5 million to $50 million. Floating rate, first lien debt securities is a real common way of them doing it, and you'll see that. And they frequently make their own equity co-investments alongside the debt. So they take a stake in the company, and they provide lending for the company as a business development. Going back to their loans, as you can see, their portfolio is really, really heavy in the first lien investments, and you can see that from the large bar as it on the right side there. Essentially, almost the vast majority are first lien investments, so they have first right if there is a problem with the company. It has to file for bankruptcy. So anyway, just wanted to show. Here's just a quick snapshot of Capital Southwest investments, and you can see there's medicals, consumer services, marketing, healthcare, industrial, education, research and consulting. There's a whole vast. This is just a snapshot. They've got a lot of investments in a lot of different industries. Jumping back to the financials, this slide is history of value creation. Essentially, if from 2015 to 2025, if you had held this thing and accumulated the dividends, you'd have basically doubled your money. That's what that wants to show. This slide shows the dividends. The bluer bars at the bottom are the regular dividends. The ones at the top are supplemental dividends, and you can see they pay their regular dividends are going up, and their supplemental is pretty consistent, but it's not always there. But I would say that this it's growing dividends consistently. And I know I'm going through these quickly, but the last slide is Capital Southwest Corporation's revenues and earnings per share estimates and trends. You can see that revenues are growing at about a 10% clip a year, and earnings per share is pretty consistent, about $2.30 per share. But the cash flow does cover the dividends. Again, a pretty good corporation. If I went through it really fast. They've got great information on their website. I suggest you go on their website if you have any interest at all. I like the fact that there's a little bit of alpha. There's nice divvies, real consistent nice divvies. And it looks like a pretty good company, pretty intelligent management. If you like it, like I said, go to the website, do your research. The intro and outro song for this podcast, JC Stocks and Markets podcast, is a song that I wrote called She's the One by a band that I used to play in, Just One Goat. They did the magic, and I hope you enjoy it. With that, do your due diligence. Happy investing. Bye now.
I know I'm not that beautiful, but I know my way back home. A loving girl is physical, but I never have to roam. Well, she's always there for me. It's simple, can't you see? She's the one. Oh, she's the one. Everything is magical, even when she's not around. No, it's not that radical, I just know what I have found. Well, she's always there for me. It's simple, can't you see? She's the one. Oh, she's the one. She's making my life so much stronger. God, let me stay just a little bit longer. She's the one. Yeah, she's the one. Yeah. There were a few before you, but I really didn't care. I thought I had that feeling, now I know it wasn't there. It really is a crime, I've wasted all this time. She's the one. Oh, she's the one.